Hi, welcome back to Let's Build, and this week we're going to build a very special car on the Hellion, and we're doing this because you can win it at the car meet, and please do it. I mean, even if you've got one like I did, sell that one, make some money. Also give you a chance, of course, to do a fresh build. It's only top 4 2 days running, and at least half the grid crash on every corner, so it's really easy. Okay, now the Hellion is supposedly based on the Nissan Patrol and on the Jeep Cherokee XJ. Now, I perhaps stupidly have also always in fact tried to build the Patrol, because the Patrol is the one that is primarily mentioned in the wiki, but it's always bugged me that it doesn't really look like a Patrol. So I did some thinking. Now I got a new one, and I think it looks a lot more like the Jeep Cherokee. And we have this photo here, which is from a 2019 Vegas Torino rally Jeep. It says Chris Nisley on the photo, so I'm going to guess that perhaps Chris was the driver. Well, I built this to look like that, and I think you'll agree it looks an awful lot better. I'm really pleased with this. It's, to me, my most convincing build ever on the car. I prefer it to all of the Nissan Patrol builds. We'll just look at it in action for a little bit on the way back to the workshop, where we'll zip through the build and give you a chance to build this on yours. It does require a crew colour, sort of. We'll discuss that when we get there. You can also do without it, I think it's fair to say. These are pretty good off-road as well. In fact, if you really enjoy off-roading in the game, these are excellent to have. I highly advise winning it. Brakes are maybe not as good as I thought. Right, into the workshop we go. I'm doing this live, so I apologise for any keyboard clicks, etc. Armour I always take to full. Brakes are up to you. I don't drive it a lot. On the bumpers, there's a huge selection from big bull bars to standard bumpers, but I've actually gone for this lifted ram bar. It's not far off, and I think it quite closely represents the photo I have. I only have that one side photo of the car, by the way. Rear bumpers, I'd like it to be black all the way across. It's not, but at least it has black around the corners, the same as the photo, and everything else is to do with the deleting bumpers and light cages. So stock, always, I say almost always, put a level 4 on your engine. The exhaust, stock is simply a hidden exhaust, which is what the car has, and everything else is weirder engine stuff, look, so stock. Fenders, this is the really good option. The fenders delete here, you see, removes those parts, and it really gives you the large arches, and then we already have the sticking out a long way wheels, absolutely perfect. Grille, I've selected the carbon slatted grille. I didn't want to go chrome. I wanted something as Jeep as possible, so we wanted those vertical parts in the grille. For the lights, I would just say go to the car meet and put on the white lights from there and leave it stock otherwise until that point. For the livery, it's the redwood livery, and that's because it closely matches, of course. It's great to have this sort of square part with the number on the front. Bet you'd like to see the rest. So we have stripes, and then we start to get the ones that do really look like rally cars. That one. This one I think is closely based on one of the Nissan Patrols. This is definitely based on a Patrol, this 69 livery. I used that on a garage tour. It's a nice build. This is the Jurassic Park one, and Digital Car Addict has the build if you want to do the Jurassic Park one. Patriot Beer, of course, and Impotent Rage. Okay, moving on, the number plate, I just went with the black and yellow as I often do. For the respray, for the primary, I have put a crew colour on, as you can see, and the crew colour is from the Justin 512 site as per my liveries video. And the idea with this colour is that it is supposed to match the red of the livery. As you can see, if we just take a different colour, this is what the livery is like. But I wanted a red car just interspersed with livery, so there we go. Don't panic if you don't want to do crew colours, because if you nip into the reds, and you probably need to go in and out of the light to see which one is best, but just red is not far off Formula Red is not far off. I think it's a bit darker. Torino Red, again, pretty close. So because you're completely split by the line, I wouldn't panic if you can't do crew colours. And secondary, I've just got a classic black for the roll cage really, and it's also for any other parts you choose to make secondary on the car. For the roll cage, what I actually wanted was one that went down here, but I assume they can't just have a half cage. Surely they had something in the front. It was hard to see on the photo. Secondary half cage, you can hardly see it anyway. So I went secondary full cage, but it does put padding on, which is wrong. Really hard to say, but one of those two. For the roof, we want the light bar. It doesn't work, but what can we do? You can't get rid of the side step, and the least obnoxious one is to have the slat skirt here. At least it gives you the full clearance. Suspension, of course, you want as high as you can go. Transmission and turbo, if you drive it. Wheels, in the off-road class, of course, give you those knobbly tyres and the small wheels. I've picked these mudslinger ones, and the reason is I can see in the blur that there must have been some nuts around the outside. There are what look like slots. These are a bit more circular, but I think they're pretty close. We have some free rein because the car is in motion and we can't be dead sure. The tyres, I can definitely see the blur of tyre design on there, so you want your custom tyres. Bulletproof, I think I've forgotten bulletproof. Yeah, bulletproof as well. Window plates, we don't have window plates on this one, so that's pretty simple, but it can work quite well, and by having them painted that helps with a lot of the rally type builds. Windows we're definitely not tinting, and that completes the build. Well, there, I'm pleased with that, so do grab one of these, and if I forgot to say, they're discontinued. It's not just a case of getting them for free, it's the only way that you can get one of these at the moment. If you found this build at all inspirational, or you want to argue about the wheels or anything else, please do leave a comment down below. I'd really like to see those. A like, of course, if you enjoyed, and if you like real cars in GTA, well, please do subscribe. And I think just before I say my final words, I wonder if it'll tackle these. Okay. That's pretty impressive. Thank you so much for watching.